Okay. Leveling is the process of finding the relative height of different points on, above, or below the surface. So you all must have seen some leveling or some surveying which happens during the construction of roads or during the construction of bridges. Right? The image which I am showing here. Okay, in the image, a person is holding a tripod and he has a leveling instrument mounted on the tripod, and he is seeing some readings which is seen in the telescope of that instrument. Okay, and one more person is holding a staff there. It is called as staff on which the readings will be written. It is called as staff on which the readings will be written from 0 to say 3 meters or 4 meters of height it is available, right? So we will be taking the readings, okay, using the leveling staff, and we perform the leveling to know the levels of the ground, okay, for any kinds of the construction, and those levels shall be always indicated, or those levels shall be always mentioned with respect to some reference, with respect to some reference. That reference we call it as benchmark. That reference we call it as benchmark. Okay, you must have seen in hilly regions, if you go right on the hill, some levels will be written always. So say plus 800 feet or plus 900 feet. Okay, that indicates that point where you are standing is about 800 feet above from the mean sea level. So in that case, mean sea level is the reference for that. That means mean sea level is benchmark for the level of that point. Okay, so leveling is always done to know the levels of the points on, above, or below the ground. Okay, so it is the measurement of geodetic height using an optical leveling instrument and a level staff or rod having a numbered scale. So we will go for the introduction of optical leveling instrument and level staff in the next section here. Okay, so uses of leveling. So leveling acts as a referencing point to find out and make sure the vertical stability of the points with respect to reference point, or known as the benchmark. Known as the benchmark. Suppose if you are going for the survey of any area, or if you are going for the say construction of ground or construction of reservoirs. Okay, what will be the shape of reservoir? The reservoir will be deeper at the center, and as you move towards the bank, okay, the level rises up, right? So to maintain that level, you have to perform a leveling survey in the area, so that you can fix the level of bottom of the reservoir and you can fix the level of top of the reservoir. So once you know the area and areas levels at various points, so you can also decide how much ground is to be cut, or how much ground is to be filled to maintain a level required. Correct? How much ground is to be cut, or how much ground is to be filled to maintain the required level, that you can decide. And also from leveling, you can leveling is also used in water supply schemes, right? So in rural areas, what happens, you will be having a single water tank outside the village always. Okay, that water tank or that overhead tank should be placed such that it should be at the highest level of the it should be at the highest level of the ground, so that the water flows with the gravitational force and it is supplied to throughout the village. Okay, this is how we can use leveling in water supply schemes also. And you must have seen the canals which are attached to the rivers, or which are attached to the dams. Okay, in canals, what happens, once the gate is opened, okay, once the gate is opened, or the canals attached to the river, what happens, the slope of the canal shall be maintained such that the water has to flow with the gravitational force. It has to flow gravitationally, and the water shall be supplied to all the lands, right? So to maintain that level, you have to perform leveling first with respect to some benchmark, or with respect to some reference point. Reference point may be mean sea level, or reference point may be any temporary benchmark. With respect to that, you first need to perform the leveling, and you need to know the level of the level of various selected points with respect to the benchmark, and you can decide the level of construction work, right? So you see the third paragraph here. The point of mean sea level is connected to the national leveling network to define vertical datum for national surveying and mapping. So in our country, for to select any reference points for leveling surveying, okay, we have to start with mean sea level. Mean sea level is reference for us. Mean sea level at any point will be a benchmark for us. Using that benchmark, we should be we will be indicating the level of we will be indicating the level of various points. Okay, we will be indicating the level of various points. So leveling can be used to design highways, railroads, canals, sewers, water supply systems, to lay out construction projects according to planned elevation. As I have told, according to planned elevations, according to the required levels, we can go for the construction work. To calculate volume of earthwork, that is earth to be cut or earth to be filled, right? To calculate the volume of earthworks and other materials, and to investigate drainage characteristic of an area. All right. Next, definition of terms used in leveling. So first one is the level surface. These are the terms which we use in leveling. Level surface, a surface in which any point is perpendicular to the direction of the force towards the pull of gravity. It can also refer to any surface which is parallel to the mean spheroidal surface of the earth. In the figure you can see there, in the figure you can see where they have indicated the level surface there. So in the left corner a level surface is written. So it is a surface which is which any point is perpendicular to the direction of the force towards the pull of gravity, right? Next, level line. You have level line, a line lying on a level surface in which normal to the plumb line at all points, normal to the plumb line at all points. Level line you can see there in the figure. The level surface is there. A line drawn at the level surface is called as level line. Next, level datum. Datum is nothing but our reference point or reference plane with respect to which we conduct the leveling survey, right? An arbitrary level surface which refers to elevations. There are two types of datum: the ordnance datum and the assumed datum. Ordnance datum (OD) is heights that are shown on ordnance survey, referring to the maps. Datum line is the mean sea level. The ordnance datum is nothing but mean sea level which are shown on the country maps. Assumed datum, it is established by giving a benchmark and assumed value to which all heights and levels in local area will be reduced. Suppose if you are going for small types of construction, right? For small types of construction, to know the cutting and filling of the earthwork or to maintain the level, whatever things you have to do, right? For small type of construction, you cannot refer the mean sea level. You cannot go and take the exact mean sea level of any reference point, and you need to bring that point to the construction site, okay, while continuing leveling from point to point. So to bring that, it will be difficult. So in that case, what we will do, near to the construction area only, I will take one random point such that that point shall be visible from every corner of your construction site. Okay, I will take that random point that is called as assumed datum, or that you call it as benchmark. Okay, I will assume some level to that, say plus 100 meters or plus 200 meters. I will take some I will assume some level to that, and with respect to that level, I will calculate the level of remaining area in the construction site. So if in remaining area you may get 102 meters or 101 meter or 97 meter, right? So if you get 97 meter, what it means, that point is 3 meters below the assumed datum. If you get 102 meters, if you that means that point is 2 meters above the assumed datum. Assumed datum is nothing but the benchmark which we establish. Okay. Next, horizontal plane. A plane, a plane point that is tangent to the level surface. Horizontal plane. Horizontal plane. A horizontal plane written here. Check it. A plane point that is tangent to the level surface at that particular point in which perpendicular to the plumb line throughout that point. Next, horizontal line. A line drawn to the horizontal plane is called as horizontal line. Next, we have vertical plane. A plane containing a vertical line along the staff which we hold. Vertical line. A line drawn in the vertical plane is called as vertical line, commonly defined by a plumb line. Okay, we will be dropping a plumb bob and we will be marking the vertical line point. Next, elevation. Vertical distance above or below an arbitrary assumed level. So as I have explained you, so once I assume the arbitrary level, say for 100 meters or 200 meters, okay, as from assumed level, elevation of other points shall be mentioned. Elevation of any point is nothing but the vertical distance above or below an arbitrary assumed level surface, or it may be with respect to the permanent datum, that is with respect to mean sea level. Next, mean sea level, the average height of the sea for all stages of the tides. So it is derived by averaging the hourly tide heights over a long period of 19 years at any particular place. So mean sea level is fixed for country to country. Mean sea level varies. Okay, country to country mean sea level varies. Next, benchmark, a definite and permanent accessible point of known height above a datum to which the height of the other points can be referred. So benchmark is the temporary datum which we assume, okay, and benchmark is the point level of which is known. So benchmark is the point level of which is known. That level may be with respect to mean sea level, or that level may be the assumed level. That level I can assume the level of the benchmark, say 100 or 200 meters, right, or 300 meters, anything, right. So, and or else you can also have the benchmark which are known, correct. You can sometimes if you are going for the surveying in railway station areas, right. So on railway platforms the levels will be written with respect to mean sea level. You can check the board of that railway station, right? So there you will be having the permanent benchmark which has the known level with respect to mean sea level, right? Temporary benchmark, a benchmark set up by the surveyor himself for his own use for a particular task. As I have told you, near a construction site only, we will fix one point whose RL I will assume that RL with respect to that level, I will be performing the survey. Next, reduced level. It is also indicated as RL, reduced level, height or depth of any point above or below any datum. Reduced level is the level of the point indicated with respect to the datum. Level of the point, whether that point is above or below the assumed datum or the permanent datum, that we will call it as reduced level RL. Line of collimation, intersection of line of crosshairs of diaphragm to the optical center of object class. So line of collimation, let me show you one figure, one image of ATO level. So can you see this equipment? Anyone confirm me? Is this equipment visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is called as the leveling equipment. It is also called as auto level, or you can also call, you have one more instrument called as this one, inverted level, right. So this is the auto level now. Okay, so see here one image is there, right. So it is mounted on the tripod here. On the right side you see yellow color, it is mounted on the tripod. So if I go for the terms, so which one I have now? Line of collimation, intersection of line of crosshairs of diaphragm to the optical center of object class and its continuation. It is also known as line of sight. So see here image, you have one telescope and viewing end. Round color black round circle is visible to you. From here you will be seeing to the other end. Okay, on the other end you will be having the diaphragm there. You will be having the diaphragm on the other end. Right, this is called as line of collimation. So can you see the cursor moving? Anyone confirm? Can you see the cursor? You can see. So this is called as line of collimation. That is the line of axis through which you sight the point. Okay, from the telescope. Okay, you sight horizontally, and on the other end you will be having one more glass. Okay, on that glass the diaphragm is attached. It will be having the plus mark. It will be having the plus mark there, and we will be bisecting that plus mark with this staff here. On the right side, the white staff is visible to you. See here. Visible. Is it visible?
Yes,
Visible.
sir.
Okay. On this staff, the line of collimation is nothing but the horizontal line of sight in the telescope of the autoneval. That only he is telling it here. Intersection of line of crosshairs. Crosshair means the plus mark which you have on the other end of the telescope. Next, height of instrument, vertical distance of collimation with respect to datum. Collimation means line of collimation. Vertical distance of line of collimation with respect to datum. So height of instrument is once you set up the instrument, once instrument is set up on the tripod, okay, the height of that instrument from the ground level, okay, to the line of collimation, that is to the horizontal axis of the telescope. Horizontal axis of the telescope is called as height of the instrument from ground to the horizontal axis of the telescope. But that level has to be indicated or has to be written with respect to the benchmark. Okay, with respect to the benchmark, that level can be written. Next, you have backside. First staff reading taken after the setup of the instrument. It is a reading taken at a known elevation. So once you set up the instrument, okay, the reading taken on the first point is called as backside, and it is always taken on the point whose elevation is known. That means it is always taken on the benchmark. Foresight, last staff reading taken denoting the shifting of the instrument. So on the last point which reading you take, that has to be, that is called as foresight, or else whenever you are shifting your instrument from one point to other point, okay, before shifting the instrument whatever reading you take, that has to be written in foresight. Intermediate side, staff reading taken on a point in which elevation is to be determined. It is the staff reading between backside and foresight. So before shifting the instrument whatever, and after the backside reading, whatever readings you take on the points, those are called as intermediate sites. Okay, so keep these definitions in your mind while tabulating the results. I will tell you. Okay, when once you prepare the table of learning experiment, I will tell you how to write the backside reading, how to write the intermediate site, and how to write the foresight. Next, change of point. An arbitrary point which enables the leveling to continue from a new instrument position. So if you're going for the larger area survey, what happens from the single instrument station, you cannot sight all the points and you cannot determine the level of all the points. So what you have to do, you have to change the instrument station from one point to other point such that the maximum area shall be covered. So in that case, one when you change the instrument station, that point is called as change point. Before changing the instrument, the reading which you take on the ground, that is called as change point. Right. So these are the basic definitions which we use in leveling. So I will share this basic definitions. Go through this. Then we will go for the methods of leveling, how to perform the leveling and how to note, how to record the readings and how to determine the level of the points on the ground with respect to benchmark or with respect to the datum. So that I will explain it in the next class. Go through these definitions first. Okay. So I hope this instrument is visible to everyone or leveling instrument. Leveling instrument is visible. This is called as auto level. And one more you have, it is called as inverted level. Invert level. So that is also the instrument which we use for the leveling, invert level. So this is again auto level you are saying, which you are saying. So this is used for leveling here. Okay. This black in black color. This is called as inverted level. This is called as inverted level. That is in of metal, and this is the auto level. Both instruments are used for leveling. Okay. Okay. So in the next class we'll go for the methods of leveling. In the next class we'll go for methods of leveling. So go through this basic definition and we'll start with methods of leveling. Okay. Thank you everyone.